I definitely have very different thoughts on indigenization because I feel like it was definitely a word for universities to just put out there and throw out there and say that they're indigenizing stuff. Uh, and like these universities, just because you do a land acknowledgement and the land acknowledgement, or put in your email threads and put signs up, or hire one Indigenous person who happens to be the only Indigenous person in that department, is not indigenizing your university at the end of the day. These administrations just love to pat themselves on the back saying they're leaders in like reconciliation. Like, no, sit down, we're not done here yet. So when it comes to like, if you want to indigenize, like the fight for free education, obviously one of the things is like making sure that myths like Indigenous students have access to free education is like not a thing, like that is not real. Also, I just want to put it out there, first and foremost, listen to Indigenous students, listen to Indigenous youth. Centering Indigenous youth voices and amplifying them without tokenizing them. I just want to make sure that is like, yeah, a major thing that has like happened to come the past couple of years, because universities wanted to tokenize a lot of students because, and putting making them do like free labor without like compensating them for their knowledge and everything. And like that goes off their trauma and what they face in these universities and everything, and which they still do contribute to this day, because like Indigenous students still have to fight for a lot of the things that, just like language, how I was saying earlier, like that is rooted in like colonialism, white supremacy. Like, oh, you take our language away from us, but you want us to pay for it now? Like, that just doesn't make sense at the end of the day. So one thing, like I always say, like I'm aiming for is to create and fight for environments that Indigenous students can achieve and succeed in. Even though these spaces are not made for Indigenous students, at the end of the day, they were made to work against us. Keeping in mind, like I said, 40, 50 years ago, students had to choose between their status or getting a post-secondary education. Like that is not okay. And that was something our government implemented onto Indigenous peoples. And like that is Canada's history. And I feel like a lot of people forget things like that. Yeah. And then so we got to hold, and one of the former CFS chair people said in other panels with her, is like holding their feet to the fire and ensuring like our administration needs to do this and understand the utmost importance of these, and ensuring that like this fight isn't just, it's for everybody at the end of the day, and like especially for our future generations. So like just reminding people of that, and like not keeping it just like to themselves and everything, and like making sure that we're able to share this knowledge with each other at the end of the day, I feel like is able to could indigenize, and just like making sure that these voices are at the forefront. We need to center BIPOC people when it comes to things like these, and I believe that with my heart, and that's like what I always want to like achieve and succeed in, and make sure our generations have that.